Hello everyone, my name is Pat, this is 2PJZ. Welcome back to the channel if you're a returning subscriber. Welcome to new viewers as well. Today, we are installing, but first restoring, some GREDDY strut braces on the FD RX7. You might be asking, why is the bonnet up when the car's in the garage? I mean, it's a rotary. Makes sense, probably why the bonnet's up when it's in the garage all the time. But the bonnet is up because yesterday, if you follow my Instagram, you may have seen that the battery, well, it didn't die, but the battery didn't turn over or didn't crank the car when I went to take it out for a drive. So I had to let it sit on charge for about half an hour and then take it out. So what we have here is just a C-Tech trickle charger. It's nothing too fancy, they're pretty, standard chargers, just leaving the battery on because I won't drive it for the rest of the week. But today we are finally giving the engine bay, well, the first modification really that I've done to the car, and putting the strut braces on in the front and then in the rear. So before I start with the process of installing and restoring and installing the strut braces, I thought I would mention that the bride seats are very, very nearly ready to go in. I'm just waiting now. They are ready to go. I've got the driver's side rail down there. I'm waiting on a little seatbelt adapter bracket from Just Jap, so their container from Japan should have arrived yesterday, so hopefully that should be coming within the next week or so. Then the driver's side can definitely go on. It's all there ready for the rail to be put on. I've already dummy fitted it up. The passenger seat is awaiting a rail still from Japan. I haven't been supplied of that. I ordered it 3.5 weeks ago, so that should be coming hopefully soon. I'm really hoping. You can never really rely on international stuff, especially in the time of COVID. But today we are obviously installing and restoring these genuine JDM GREDDY strut braces into the FD. The first kind of mod, and I say mod in quotation marks because strut braces, they do a bit. I mean, they are definitely a performance mod, but the majority of it is just for the aesthetic, especially when the car's running stock suspension. So we'll need to clean it up. There's a bit of grime and gunk down here. I think they were sitting in storage for a little bit, same over here, and then polish up the actual metal part of the brace itself because it does need a little bit of love. So to get that done, we're going to start by cleaning first using Bowden's Orange Agent. I'm a big Bowden's fan. If you support my Instagram, which you can find at 2PJZ, there should be a little thing just here for that. And you would have found out about the battery issue yesterday as well if you follow me there. And then we have a dirty deeds cloth just to wipe it down and get all the crap off. And then a nice new microfiber as well to put the metal polish on. The first thing you want to do is to grab your orange agent or other multi-purpose degreaser that you're using and spray it onto the ends of the strut bar, especially if they're old ones, just where that little bit of grime builds up, and then you want to leave it sit for a little while. The next step is to grab a detailing brush. In this instance, this one is the Big Boy Brett from the Bowden's Own Foursome pack. You spray a couple squirts of orange agent into the brush, and then you just rub it around the surface pretty much at the end of the strut bar until you get all the gunk and grime off that you possibly can. Once you've done that, you get a dirty deeds cloth, spray a couple more sprays of the orange agent into it, rub it around the surface just like you did with the brush, and then turn it over to a clean side and buff off the residue because you really don't want that stuff drying into your paint. Same thing again with the actual metal part, the strut bar. Spray a few sprays of it into the cloth, wipe down the bar, turn to a different side of the cloth, and then buff it off. You can see here just how dirty that side of the cloth was. Okay, so the first part of the restoration is done. We've given it a nice clean. As you would have heard in the voiceover, there are a few bits on the end that probably will need a repaint. I'm not going to do that just yet because I'm just going to throw them on the car, clean them up a little bit and see how we go for a while, because I might even be getting some Mazda speed braces or something else down the line when I've done some other stuff to the car. So these probably won't be on the car forever, but I mean, they are in fairly good nick. But I'll show you what I don't think we will be able to get out. There's like a little bit of crap here that was really stubborn, and it's all over the cloth, but you try and rub it in and try and get rid of it, but I don't think that wants to come out, so that will need like a sandback and a paint. Same with the edging here. There's a little bit of crap on the edging as well. On the actual bar itself, there are lots of scratches. I mean, the metal polish should remove a bit of this, but it won't get everything. So next step is to put the metal polish on. The AutoSol stuff's really good. You can get it at Repco, or it's even, I think it's an American product, so you should be able to get it all over the world really, so it definitely should be an international product.
So now is the fun part of the whole process, which is actually polishing the surface of the metal. So in this case, I put about a 5 to 10 cent piece of the AutoSol metal polish onto my cloth, and then I rubbed it into the cloth, then put it straight onto the surface of the bar, rub it back and forth, up and down, just put some elbow grease into it. There's not really a whole lot to say. You'll notice that a lot of black stuff will come off the cloth. I didn't realize this until after.
So I wasn't expecting there to be all this crap to come off, but that is a lot of black, and that's after I went and cleaned it twice with orange agent. That is normal sometimes with metal polish. There is just a few things under the surface that you might not be able to quite get, but this is a rear bar all done, and that looks so much better. Look how shiny that is compared to this one that's still very dull. I'll try and compare them both. You can see this one has this really nice shimmer just down there under the light. It's still very dull. You know, you can still see the etching and crap in that. That is really nice. Even the logo, there's no crap in the logo anymore, whereas down here, still very contaminated with bits and bobs. I'm not sure how well it's focusing for you, but oh, there you can see in the D and the Y, whereas down here, much better. So we'll get onto the front one now.
Now again, like the previous clip, it is a wash, rinse and repeat of the first one. So again, find a clean side of the cloth. It's really important that you do get a clean side. You don't want to be rubbing that crap back into your bar, especially when you're trying to make it all polished and clean. You can risk scratching it. So find a new clean side, do the exact same thing I told you to do last time, rub it in, buff it off, and then smile. Pay extra attention to all sorts of emblems and badging and engraving within the bar. Make sure you get all the crud off from around it and give it a nice buff off, because this will be the centerpiece of your bar and something you really want to get right.
Okay, so polishing is complete. We're all done. I get thumbs up, the dirty thumbs up of approval. So yeah, looks really good. Look, I mean, it's not perfect. It's not extremely up to my standard of OCD, but to be honest, it's pretty good for what it is. For getting these things for free, they got sent down with the car by the old owner, and you know, they're in pretty good nick. They will need a little bit of repaint. I was considering painting the ends red, but I don't know, Greddy's blue and yellow, so I might just keep it blue to match my brake calipers as well, and to keep it that OG JDM. But oh, look at that shine now. Yeah, I'm very happy with how that turned out. That'll add a bit of extra bling to the engine bay, and also support my handling too. Won't combat the stock body roll that I'm experiencing, but let's chuck them on the car.
They always say you have to save the best for last, and in this case it couldn't be more true. So now we are installing the strut brace into the car. Very easy. It's a 14mm socket on the FD RX7. You have 3 bolts on each side of the strut towers in the front of the car. All you have to do is crack it. These ones have not been touched in 20 years, so they required a little bit more elbow grease than I would have been used to. So once you've cracked the bolts, undo them until they're hand tight. Leave them on there so you don't fall off or don't lose them. Go and do the other side, and then take them off by hand. When it comes to installing the bar, make sure your hands are really clean, because you don't want any of that grime that just got on your hands from when you were cracking your nuts and taking them off to get right back onto the bar that you've just spent so much time and effort cleaning. It's really simple to put on, lay it over the studs, put the bolts back on, tighten them down with your socket, and hey presto, you have a strut bar in your car. You do the exact same thing again to the other side, and once you've done that, don't forget to tighten up where the end plate connects to the bar itself. That's actually the part that helps you most with stability in your car. So if that's loose, the strut bar is pretty much useless. So make sure you do that up, chuck a wrench on one side. It's a 15mm socket on the FD RX7 Greddy strut bar. So you get your 15mm, put it on the other end, tighten it all up, and you're golden. Okay, so the front strut bar is now done. It looks super sick in there with the truss to intercooler and intercooler piping, and then the Greddy strut bar right behind it. Very cool. Got those awesome JDM points for all you guys out there who enjoy that sort of stuff like I do. It polished up real nice. Adds a little bit of extra bling to the engine bay, and what wasn't a dull engine bay, because I mean, I've got my carbon intake looking nice under the light, my intercooler. It's also got the Greddy pulley kit, so that matches up the blue on the ends really nicely. I don't think I mentioned that when I did my reveal video. I've also got a Koyo radiator and sump brace underneath. I didn't mention when I was listing out my mods. I'm going to go have a look at the one at the back, because I'm not exactly sure how that's going to turn out. I was having a look online, and a few forums say that it's a little bit more difficult than it seems, but the front one at least is done, and it's looking mighty cool in there. I'm very happy and very stoked with how that turned out. So I think in terms of the rear, it should be simple enough. I've had a little look. I'll just have to remove my little cargo protector thingo. There's just like 3 bolts around here, so I guess I'll try and take that off, and this middle part should come out, and then that should be the back of it. I think it should be that simple.
We're about to find out.
Well, we did find out indeed. I certainly experienced what I call the curse of the vlogger in this one, similar to the curse of the commentator in footy or soccer. It did not go to plan. Anyone that does want to do this, that does have something to go to plan, to take the cargo protector off, it's the two little things up the top, then there's two little clips underneath it that connect to the stock strut bar. Then the same thing as the front, you just crack your nuts, there's 3 on each side, you take them off and you pull the strut bar off. It's a real no-brainer, this one. It's very, very easy, but unfortunately, the next step halted my progress. Now you just get to enjoy me struggling around, trying to fit the strut bar in, and then just realizing that it's not going to go because you have to cut up the plastics. Big red cross for that one for me. Not a fan, was not doing it.
So unfortunately I have encountered a bit of a roadblock with the rear, and as it turns out the rear does not want to go in past this little corner bit here. I'll show you the rear plate. It should just slide in, but it's getting blocked at the rear and it doesn't want to go in. So I mean, I could take a Dremel to it, being the old collectible legend that it is, and me being too passionate about it, I don't want to start cutting the car up if I can avoid it. So what we're gonna do is I'll put the stock strut back in. It's not really a major thing for the rear anyway, it's more so the front that really needs it. We'll leave the rear for now and we might revisit it later on down the line if I do get another set of plastic trims and I do find myself happy to cut up the first one. Anyway, thank you all for watching today. I hope you enjoyed it. Just taking along, nice little easy clean up and installation process is something that's pretty easy to do that really improves the handling and look of your car. So strut bar is one of the best things you can do and definitely recommend it for whatever car you have. I hope you enjoyed. If you did enjoy it, please leave me a comment. Really enjoyed the positive reactions I got to my reveal video. This is why I'm continuing to keep on the content, because you guys do seem to be enjoying it and I enjoy making it. So I want to say a big thank you to everyone for watching. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new and you want to see more. Follow me on my Instagram and Facebook at 2PJZ. We'll see you next time.